We're getting an MRI on it tomorrow. Breland has a knee MCL issue. We'll get an MRI tomorrow. Could be a sprain, could be whatever. We'll get an MRI. Nicholson has a shoulder. McClure has a knee sprain. And Moreau has hamstring tightness at the end of the game. That's it.
You guys were up 17-0 against an 0-5 team. Rookie quarterback comes in. Any sense that the team let up and thought, hey, we've got these guys like mid-second quarter around in there?
I don't think so. I think, we got up 17-0. They scored at the end of the half, put a nice drive together. And then they got the ball coming out in the third quarter, got to 17-10. Then we had the big turnover, and let them back in it. And next thing you know, it's 17-17. I knew after that it's be a dogfight. I mentioned before they have a lot of good players. I think it's their fifth game in a row. They've lost by 3 or less points. So hats off to them. They're well coached and played hard. But fortunately, we came out with the victory.
Jay, what did you think of the way Kirk played today?
I thought he played efficient. We had the one pick on 3rd and long. It was a bad play design by us, but it was like a punt, so it didn't hurt us at all. Other than that, I think he threw for over 300 yards, had a touchdown run and a huge scramble for us. Again, so I think he's doing well.
Coach, what was your thoughts on the Vernon call where they gave him the fumble? Did you see it? Did you have a thought on the sideline?
I thought wrist was down, but, they had the luxury of the replay and talking to New York and everybody else who had an opinion on the play. But since it was called a fumble, I imagine that's why they called it a fumble. I'm sure that's the rule we'll get.
Hey, Coach, could you talk about the younger DBs down the stretch?
Yeah, I'd be glad to. I think they all stepped up. You're talking about not a lot of experience back there. With Monte playing safety and Fabian, and I even saw Holsey back there and Kendall, and obviously Dunbar had a big day today. So very impressed with all of them. And there was a coverage mix-up there that gave them the touchdown to get it back to a 1-point or 2-point game. But overall, I like the way they competed and covered and played.
Josh Doxson seems like he's coming along. What were your impressions of him?
Josh, I think he had a big play early in the game for the touchdown, and he's still coming on. But we spread the ball around so much that it's going to be hard for us to sit in here and say that he did great, he did better. I think at the end of the day, most of those guys, if they're great competitors, will be a little bit disappointed in their stat production. But I like the way that Kirk's spreading the ball out. Chris Thompson had some catches. Josh Terrell had some early. Crowder showed up a little bit more today. So P. Ryan even had some catches. So I think that's what we're all about on offense. Vernon had a couple.
Coach, you mentioned earlier that you said you thought it was going to be a dogfight. It wasn't pretty, but how proud are you, and what did you see from your team being able to make the plays when they had to get the win? Yeah,
I'm excited about it. You start to feel better about your team when you're not as happy after a win as you normally should be. But you got to understand this is a great competitive sport, the National Football League, and everybody has great players, but you can see that we're starting to turn a corner a little bit when you're not quite as ecstatic as you normally would be after a win. I think there's a lot of things that we can correct, clean up, obviously, and but I'm impressed. Anytime you get a victory on a Sunday afternoon at home, it's special, but I know we can play a lot better.
Jay, you guys were pretty dominant on defensively until that 2-minute warning where they scored a touchdown, then they went on to score, 17 points? And 4 drives and missed the field goal. Was there a shift in energy? What would you notice from that stretch that defensively was different?
Yeah, they made some plays. Carlos Hyde hit us on a couple runs. We had a couple penalties that are uncharacteristic. A personal foul there to give him the touchdown at the end of the half. It was 3rd down and 3, I think, or 3rd and 4. And we had the personal foul that gave him an automatic first down and then the touchdown. So, but I think, you talk about Pierre and Goodwin had some big catches, and Aldrich, I think, showed up, made some big catches. Quarterback played extremely well. Probably didn't get as much pressure on the quarterback as I'd like to see. So we got to try to fix that. But overall, I don't know the exact reason. We'll have to look at it.
Jay, after they tied it at 17, you guys put together 2 drives, got 9 points out of it, 2 long drives. What did you like about how you all responded, after losing the lead?
Yeah, I did like that. We did respond, and hats off to Kirk for making it all happen with some scrambles. Ryan Grant had some big 3rd down conversions. Vernon had the big play down the seam again. So a little bit of everybody, but it can't happen without the offensive line's protection. Again, Trent Williams, I can't say enough about him playing with the pain that he played in, and Morgan was beat up a little bit, and Spencer, of course, and Sheriff, those guys, and Laval play extremely well. So enable Kirk some time and spread the ball around and get the key points.
Jay, how much thought, if at all, did you give to maybe throwing after you recovered the onside kick? You run the 2 times.
Oh man, a lot of thought. I wanted to throw it so bad, but I thought the right play, based on your guys' decisions, would be to run the ball 3 times and eat up a minute and punt. I think had I thrown it on one of those downs and obviously not converted or had an incomplete pass, then they would have had a chance to use their timeouts, and they would have got the ball back at about a minute 40 as opposed to a minute. So we ran off some time, but thought of a play action or a boot or a keeper or something like that did cross my mind, yes.
Jay, how hard is it for you to stay committed to the run when you're not getting the sort of production that maybe you would anticipate or want?
On what happened? I couldn't hear you.
On the run game.
Stick with it.
Yeah, and how hard is it when you're not getting the level of production you probably want or need?
Yeah, we knew it wouldn't be that easy to run the ball in some of the base deals. They have a mad, big, gigantic four-man front, and then Eli Harold's an outside backer, and they bring the safeties down in the box a lot, and it's not easy to run against them, but we did try to stick it out and get some different personnel groups to try to help matters, try to crease them with some runs and some pulls and some gaps and all that stuff. It just didn't happen for us today. So next week will be another week. We'll focus on it again and try to get better.
Jay, coming off a bye, facing an 0-5 team with the Cowboys ahead, this would seem to be like the classic kind of letdown game. Is that something that you feared coming into the game? Is that something that you try to stress to the guys, not to take these guys lightly?
No, I had made that point right when they got there. And I don't think, the good thing about our group is I don't think I really had to talk about a letdown in the National Football League when Pierre Garçon's coming back and Kyle Shanahan's coming back and Logan Paulson, all these guys, and they're trying to get their first win. People know if you played long enough of football, whenever you put the pads on, it's going to be a competitive day. And our guys responded, competed, let them back in the game, unfortunately, but, they got good players too, but we responded and got the victory. That's all that matters.
Jay, what do you like so much about the read option? You guys have been going to it in a lot of big spots recently, including today with Kirk's touchdown.
Yeah, I don't love it, but I do like it because it gets the numbers back in your favor a little bit. You turn around and hand it to the back, you lose, you can block 6 guys, maybe 7 guys, and then the 8th guy's always right there free. But now that allows you to block one less guy. You read them. Obviously, Kirk's not exactly the read option quarterback that you would be looking for if you were looking for a read option quarterback, but he's very effective at it. So those are huge plays for us. We can zone block the front side and just read that backside defensive end. If he doesn't come on the quarterback, we hand it off, and if he does, we keep it for a nice big play. And Kirk's been pretty good at it, pretty effective, really.
Jay, you've been adamant that Chris Thompson's touches aren't going to go up. Obviously, that changed today. His snap count went way up. What went into that decision-making, and how much of that was predetermined before the game versus something you and Randy were figuring out during?
It was a little bit predetermined, but, Chris was in the flow. We started him out the game early. We're going to have that screen up early. I was getting ready to call that, so we just kept him in the game. It was either going to be out of no huddle or not, but we got to it, and he made a big play, and Chris is a guy that – in some of these, when we have 3 receivers, 1 back, he's usually the back. So we were in a lot of that personnel group today. And then some other runs we had out of the 2 tight end sets were very good for him. So it just happened that he was part of the game plan a little bit more than usual.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Kirk, when are you get to this game?